But it is time for the opening kick. Everyone has thoughts on what the future of spring games will look like in college football, so let's hear from an innovative head coach, Coach Prime, today on his vision for the Buffs.
Spring game will be televised. ESPN2 will broadcast spring game on the 19th. We got to sell this thing out and pack this thing because the way the trend is going, you never know if this is going to be the last spring game. I don't believe in that. I don't really want to condone that. I would like to play the spring. Actually, I like to play against another team in the spring. That's what I'm trying to do right now, to have it competitive. Playing against your own guys kind of get monotonous, and you really can't tell the level of your guys because, you know, it's the same old. Everybody kind of know each other towards the end. I would like to style it like the pros. I would like to practice against someone for a few days, then you have the spring game. And I think the public will be satisfied with that tremendously. I think it's a tremendous idea. Yeah, I've told those personnel who should understand that it's a tremendous idea.
So we've talked about leaning on the pros in these OTA-style practices, but now Coach Prime is saying, let's have joint practices with another team and then play them at the end of the week. How much closer are we to solving this spring game conundrum?
Knowing that Coach Prime saying that, I think we're getting closer. And I think that's the right angle to go at. And me being an old personnel guy, I would love that. True competition. You don't have to see you go against our own team, against somebody else. And me being one of the best poachers in the world, give me a little bit of chance to go out there and see my action in front of me and get my own notes on it.
Yeah. How do we make this make sense for both teams involved? I know you and I were chatting a little bit before the show on where you could potentially find an opponent and what's in it for both of them.
I would go FCS within your state. And now for your FCS programs, that gives you an opportunity now. So you know what? I can level up and go play against one of the big boys to see exactly where I stand. And for the guys in the personnel department, you get to go see the best players at the next level within your state that you can use to transfer over and get all that done. And when you see it, like, Prime is on something right now, Emily. I don't think he's that far off.
No. There's so many different ideas when it comes to solving spring games, and this one from today was quite interesting, but there's another one that we want to talk about in Washington where Jedd Fisch also has some ideas. I'd say he's maybe zigging while other coaches zag. He is opening up every spring practice to the public, and the school's official release describes the spring game as this, quote, a true game with 4 quarters of full speed action. The fact that you have to declare that, because that's not necessarily something that we have been seeing lately with spring games. But he also had this interesting quote. He went on the Athletics Until Saturday podcast and said, quote, I want our players to be able to be promoted. I want our players to be seen. I want people within our community to come out and watch this practice and say, I would love to do an NIL deal with this guy and promote this player or position group. What do you think about this strategy where everybody's closing it off? He's saying, come see and come have some deals with our guys and make them some money.
Yes, yes, yes. The last 2 coaches that we talked about, just trying to get ahead of the curve and just evolve as the game changes. Now, you're giving me an opportunity for the world to see me play against somebody else and also have an opportunity to now market myself. Coach, I'm all for that. And I'm just happy that there's a coach out there that says, spring football is vanilla football.
Yeah.
No one cares. You're not going to run anything that you're going to do game prep-wise for your opponent. You're just running the basics. So let everybody come out there and see it and have your fans that's been pushed away and ticket prices being jacked up have an opportunity to come see your players.
I joked, though, that he's zigging while others zag. This is not something that we see from coaches. If anything, they're shutting the doors, they're locking it, they're putting a bubble over their facilities. Why aren't other programs doing this if it sounds like so no-brainer?
Coaches are robots. They all do the same thing because everybody else has done it that same way. And you see the ones that evolved, usually are the ones that take off, and they're ahead of the curve. And coaches will usually say, well, players need to adapt. Well, coaches, you need to adapt to the new formula of the way that the college game is being viewed and how your audience wants to see it being played.
He also said it was something fun for fans to go out and see them. He says, we're asking fans to pay a lot of money to get these players in. We might as well let them watch these players practice, right?
Our Saturday practices when I was at Maryland, or even when I was playing in college football, those are the best ones.
Yeah.
Because we knew we had an audience, at least to come out and just cheer us on. And You don't want to go through practices hearing the whistle being blown and your coaches yelling at you. You'd rather hear the fans, and now you get the adrenaline. It turns you up a little bit to make those extraordinary plays.
Yeah, you don't just have to rely on the practice playlist to get you fired up. It's fun when you have fans and cheering and atmosphere.
Emily, we didn't have music. And some coaches,
Yeah.
old like school coaches, don't allow you to have music.
Yeah.
So it's just
very
like I just
stale.
said, oh my God, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. On a Saturday, that Friday night was already bad anyway.
So bring some fans, get some autographs afterwards. I like what they're doing at Washington and potentially in the future at Colorado.